I'll give you ample opportunities to plug Kerslake home heating.
I'm not here to plug that. Yeah.
No, but you might as well, mate.
I'm not here to plug what?
Just
I'm gone.
take the top off. We'll hang it over the.
I'll take the top off.
Brilliant.
This is Silly Point, an Inside Etown podcast.
And there was a lot of sledging going on as well. Not from me, from them.
Well,
from them.
Funny story actually. Carl has seen me as a cricketer. Every day I've been a cricket player has been under Carl's watching eyes, and I was pacing up and down by this bench, and he said, "Dan, you know, like just a bit of advice. It's a semi-final. Enjoy." I was like, "I'm not nervous for me. I'm nervous for Kersy because I wanted to get 100."
Is that how you was feeling?
Yeah. I was pacing up and
we were all there. We were all.
Yeah.
For those who, because we had proper umpires, because it was a semi-final, so a lot of us didn't know what to do with our time because we normally waiting to either score or go out, and we were all thinking as we were ticking up, we were going, "He's getting closer. He's getting closer." And you've got the people who are very worried about. Oh, don't ask what he's on. Go and ask what he's on. Then you get a few people every over. What's got you on now? What's he on now? So you've got half the people shouting, telling him to shut up. Then you've got the scorer shouting, well, he's on 80 something or 90 something. And I think the biggest thing about that knock, and Carl kind of nailed it, you didn't give a chance away.
No,
until you got out, you didn't actually give a chance away in that one either. There was no edges. There was no mailing shots, just popping it up into the air for no reason. Sorry, Mel, but you do it. I'm sure Kersy will have a few to mention as well. But it was a proper innings where there was no false shots at all.
I think to be honest with you, that umpire for the semi-final and final, we have our own umpires. We usually opposite teams umpiring or whoever it is. I don't know. But can you stop swearing? That's what the umpire's saying to me. People are watching it. You can stop swearing. I'm like, listen, I'm so sorry. I can't help myself. I just can't help myself. And when I scored, I think he tried to mancad me. I think that's where that bit of a rivalry came from. And their captain, fair play to him, came over and went, "We're not about that here." Yeah. And I thought to myself, do you know what? Fair play. I can't remember what it was on. But he mancaded me. I don't know whether I was over the line or not like that, but the umpire was looking at me like that, who had just been, swearing. And he was looking at me dead in the eye like that, like as if to say, I don't even think he knew whether I was out or not. And the captain, honestly, Chris belting lad, came over, he went, "We're not accepting that. We don't do that." And I thought to myself, do you know what? Fair play to you. Because not many teams would have done that. Not many teams would have done that. And I'd like to think I'd return the favour if ever one of our lads did that. And I think that probably goes to the relationship we have between the clubs as well. Yeah. But yeah.
That was interesting because it was the wicketkeeper, wasn't it, who came out of wicketkeeping to start bowling.
That's right, yeah.
And he was... I think he just felt, for whatever reason, he likes to be everywhere, doesn't he, Liam?
No, he's a good lad.
He's a good lad. He likes to be everywhere. And he just thought the bowlers were getting nothing, so he literally shouted to Chris, "Get someone else back here, I'm bowling." Mm-hmm. And he thought, and he was chirping away at Kersy, He
got me though, didn't he? I was 104, but he got me.
He got you, but then that was after you and him were having a go and the umpires were telling you to calm.
We had a go, when we was... I think he bars into me a little bit, and James was there looking at me. I went, I love all that, mate. Yeah. I love all that. It's like music to my ears doing all that, and then I caught him.
I was just going to say, just to complete the loop.
He came over to me after the game. He came over to me after the game. Honestly, fair play. He's a top lad. He came over to me after the game. He went, I knew it was you. He went, and he just went, "Well played, mate." He said, "What happens on the yeah." And I went, "No, vice versa, mate."
You didn't even particularly celebrate that catch.
That's what I was going to say.
It was just this kind of knowing look at the batsman.
It wasn't a look, Dan. Kersy watched it all the way into his hands. He took it and he just stood dead still.
Do you know the truth behind that catch?
And stared at him.
Do you know the truth behind that catch? I was more happy with because Stewie was getting knocked quite a bit.
He was.
I went over to Stewie, which I tend to do because I've been in that situation as a spin bowler. You can be getting knocked all over the show. I always say to myself, it only takes one wicket. They can knock you all over the park. It takes one. And I said the same thing to Stuart. I said, would you rather be playing or would you rather be sat out there? He said, I'd rather be playing. I went, fucking bowl like that. Yeah. And he came to, and I just looked at Stu, and it weren't Liam who looked at. It was Stu I was looking at. Yeah. Everyone thinks it's Liam. I didn't say anything about that because it's a better story. Isn't it?
It's a better stuff. You didn't move. It was the stare and the.
It was staring at Stewie, admiring his bald head.
It could have been worse, Kers. You could have been celebrating the winning wicket, only to find it wasn't the winning wicket because it was a no ball. Like happened to some idiot sat around this table who's talking right now. So, one question I've never actually asked you this. As you know, I'm a very superstitious, fidgety cricketer myself. I've got to be first with my weights on, etc., etc. Have you got any kind of superstitions or rituals?
I do have a little one, and this is more again, I know we spoke a lot about it, but to curb my enthusiasm a bit is stay away from sugar before a game. Because I'm like this now, and it's just, if I have sugar before a game, I'm unbearable. If you think I'm unbearable now, I'm unbearable during a game, and I don't think it's fair on my teammates to do that. So I've always found now, especially when you're batting, I mean, not looking so much at you two for batting. I know you can hold the bat up, but looking more at Carl, if you can't be patient and like tuned in as a batsman, you get one chance and you're out. Yeah. And I found if I have sugar, I'm like that, and it's just gone. It's gone. Yeah. It's gone. So that's the only ritual I have: is no sugar, no Coca-Cola before a game. Have a little bit to eat, and that's it. Have a walk round. That's it. Yeah.
It's an interesting one. So last season was the first season. Obviously, I met you. My second season at the club. I assumed it was your first, but then I found out it wasn't. And there was quite a gap, wasn't there, between your first stint, which was pre-COVID, and then coming back last season. Was there a reason for that? Was it family? Was it?
Well, when I played cricket here as a junior, we all used to go to Vulcan Gym, and I ended up breaking my arm in there just through lads messing around on punch bags, and they had a concrete floor, and I fell over. I think Goody's pushed the punch bag out of the way, and I've tried doing a kick, and I've gone like that.
But yeah, was you doing like a cartoon comedy run-up?
we probably was.
Running out of the room and to run back in.
Out of one room into another, fly kicking it, and Goody's probably pushing it out the way, and whoever's done. And, you know, just daft acting, and I've split all my arm up there. I've had pins in it. I can't straighten my arm out. I can't fully twist it round. Probably why I play straight.
Probably is.
But I needed one operation on that, and then I needed another one, and it took me about 18 months to stretch my arm out fully, well, to what it's got. So I never really got back into it. Then I remember being at Phil Golding's 30th, I think, at a Newton Cricket Club, believe it or not. And Danny Edwards was there. Anyway, we got talking about cricket, our old times or whatever it was. I don't know. I've not seen Danny for a while. We was good friends at school, still good friends now. It's just that, you know, life happens and people drift away. But it's always good to see someone like Danny Edwards, because you can have a talk about old times, a good laugh. And he went, "Why don't you come and play cricket at Etown?" And I was like, I think I'd had a couple to drink, and I went, "Do you know what? I really want to get into it." And then the morning after, when the beer had settled down, I still felt the same. I think Carl messaged me on Facebook. I believe that I can't remember. I think I don't delete the messages. Why don't you come down and have a little go? And I did. And I remember Dave Melling telling me off that day, "You can't knock spots off it first straight away, lad." And he was right. Sorry for butchering your voice there, Dave. Rest in peace, lad. But that was a gap. And then I think just before COVID, I got bowler of the year and I got most improved, which I was really happy about. And then I stopped playing because my firstborn Effie was really hard work for Kay. Like, she'd be like, I'd come home from work and Kay'd be rocking on the couch, and like she'd been screaming all day and all night. She weren't sleeping through. I think she only started sleeping through until she got to about 3 or 4 hour Effie, and suffered with bad colic and stuff like that. And I just couldn't do a full day away from Katie on a Saturday and not help her. And it's only right. And then I was wanting to come back every season. I think I probably shouldn't have messaged saying, "Oh, I'll be back next season" or whatever. I probably should have just left it, let it ride, rather than just saying it. And then I didn't say it when I came back. I just thought I'd turn up rather than, you know, I didn't want to go through that same vicious cycle again where I've said I'd come and then I don't go. I always wanted to come back cricket because there's not much I love more than playing cricket. And then we started again, and so my third tenure now, I think. Is that right? Yeah.
Quite a journey then. I remember we had a conversation at the end of last season where you said, you know, you played first team at a quite a young age, and that's what drilled standards into you. Things like walking in, which after like 4 years of playing, this will be my 5th season now, I do, but I do have to engage my brain to do it. It's not automatic for me to walk in. I just remember a conversation that we had at the end of last season. So do you think it benefited you getting into the open age team at a younger age?
Massively, because you go back to the team that we played in when I was a junior. I've just mentioned about me breaking my arm, just daft acting. I mean, kids at the end of the day, with teenagers, we probably daft acting out there as well when we was playing, but I can't remember. But when you go into an adult team, especially back then, because I think times have changed now. Like Carl mentioned, you played a reverse shot, you played a reverse sweep back then.
Yeah.
You know, it was really frowned upon. Yeah. Whereas you played it now, no one's bothered. No, it's not a sign of disrespect. It was a sign of disrespect back then if you played a reverse sweep.
It's just a cricket shot now.
It's just exactly. I don't find it a sign of disrespect. If you can play a reverse sweep, play it till your heart content. We're here to play cricket on the day. If you do a 360 and knock the ball for 6, I couldn't care less. But back then, which I do think some of the stuff is needed now, because I think it's gone a bit too far the other way. I think just some little standards. I'm not bothered about socks, but little things like walking in, encouraging your bowler. I remember someone coming to me in the first team. He said, "Listen, if you don't encourage your bowler," he said, "who's going to encourage you when you're out there? It's an individual game, even though it's a sports game." He said, "That batter is batting on his own." I said, "That bowler's bowling his own, and everyone's looking at him." It's daunting enough as it is without, you know, just give them a bit of encouragement. Just walk in, support them as much as you can. That's where the team game comes into it. And just things like that have stuck with me. Just doing things right. And, you know, maybe later on in life after kids, maybe your attitude calms down a little bit as well. Not too much though.
Was there like a reason? Because I know you said you were promising and you didn't come back, and then was there something that kind of stuck out that made you decide last season, yeah, I am going to do it, or was it more just a case of everything just seemed to fall into place for you?
What do you mean? What
coming
made
back
me
to
come
the club?
back?
Yeah.
Well, I always wanted to come back, and like I don't play football anymore because like we get older, our body parts go. I've got a bad. I mean, if you can list the injuries through our team, football's. You've got to be constantly on it. And when I see a 19-year-old kid just whizzing past me, I'm like, that's just not happening anymore. I just, I'm not saying I weren't a great footballer. I could play a little bit, but my body just couldn't do it anymore. But I always wanted to come back, play cricket. I think a man or a woman needs to have that bit of adrenaline, that little bit of competitiveness just to cut the week in half a little bit. I mean, we're all dealing with work and, a lot of people have mental issues, things going on at home that people in this room probably don't know about. It's nice to come and play a sports game amongst like-minded people and just to forget about it and have a bit of competitive battle out there or a bit of a laugh or, it's just good. It cuts a week in half, it really does, and I think I need that more than anybody.
I think you've been a fan, from afar as well, haven't you, even though you weren't playing?
Yeah.
You've always kept up to date with stuff, even if you've not commented on things. I know that you've looked and maybe checked results or social media or wherever it's been. So I think that appetite was always there. It was, it wasn't the end. It was never the end of that particular chapter, was it? No. And I think because things had gone so well for us, second team back and all that sort of stuff, it's always been, you've sort of been proud of us from afar and thought once the timing was right, family wise, then I'm gonna have a go at slotting back in. You've done.
I think the biggest thing I was proud of as well is how low we were when I came back. Was it 2016, 17? And we were struggling for a team. We really were. And then had a couple of back-to-back promotions, then obviously I finished. And do you know what? I did watch from afar. I used to check people's bowling figures, the batting figures. I think I messaged Jordan once. He hit a 50 or something like that, and I messaged him. I was like, absolutely brilliant. I think it was about 2-3 years ago, and then I've seen how the clubs come on. I mean, enjoyed watching Ollie. I didn't even know Ollie, but I liked Ollie, and I didn't even know him because I thought, a radiant person who's like, he's probably come over, I don't know whether I'm saying this wrong, Ollie, but he's probably come over from the sunny beaches of Australia and then come over to Hillston. I thought, fucking hell, but he's got stuck in, and then, I don't know, I think he was cutting the grass out there for a little bit.
He did loads of stuff like that.
I heard he was showing lads how to bowl and bat and stuff like that. I don't know how true that is, because it's just things from what I've heard, and I hear how people speak, and not just him, Adam coming along, Lammy coming along, we've got like Siraj, yourself, Phil, just like 2 teams, absolutely brilliant, because I think a couple of podcasts from what I've seen, like the second team and then the LMS, you can blood some players that you can't, obviously, are not at that level to get in the first team, but maybe in the future will be, or even further, hopefully. Them LMS games and the Sunday team coming, and the second team, they're vital for that, learning your trade or just enjoying cricket, whatever you want to do, wherever you want to be with it. I think the clubs come on a million miles, and it's great to see, and I have always been a watcher of it, and maybe that was in my background to just get involved again a little bit, as much as I can with work, but yeah.
Right, we've been accused on this podcast of selling out, and I'd just like to assure you all, listeners, viewers, contributors, that we have not sold out. But what we do now normally is, at this time on the podcast, we have a Pimlets pie. And this episode of Silly Point is in association with Pimlets, and we thank them very much for their sponsorship and for being a well-known brand in the local area for many years.
Some people have to stop playing and just completely switch off from it, and you never hear from them again, especially if they move out of the area. So they don't. So I think, like you say, having that connection all the way through, even when we didn't text each other or we didn't contact each other or whatever, you didn't get to come and watch. I think the fact that you just still had that in you just gave you that it made it easier to make that decision once family-wise things were settled and work and things, and it was like, time to get back.
Thanks, Katie.
So you just mentioned work. We always give people an opportunity to plug their business on this podcast, like the TAG Property Management and Lettings Limited. Martin Toft, the #1 property magnate in Etown. So can you tell us a bit about your business, Kersy? Because you have every opportunity to speak about it, and you should let us tell the world what it is that you do and the services that you provide.
I provide plumbing, heating, and gas engineering work, which is all domestic work. I've been doing it since I was 15, since I got kicked out of school. My uncle took me on. I've been doing it nearly, give me age away here, 25 years nearly. Started my own business about 4 years ago, and it's done really well, with an aim to just like, when I get a tradesman in, I as long as you do a good job, that's all that matters, and that's all I want to do for people. Do the right job for somebody, be on time, look after their house, be trusted around the property, be trusted on how to fix their problems. That's all I want to do, and I want to gain my reputation through that as well. And it's organically growing nicely. It's doing quite well. All word of mouth, no advertisement apart from the Facebook page. But and this now. But I'd like to think that we're doing well and we're well thought of, and that's basically what I do.
And what's the name of your page?
Kerslake Home Heating and Energy.
So if anyone's got any heating or plumbing related issues, feel free to hit Kersy up. Kersy, can you make this pavilion warmer in any way, shape or form?
I can, yeah. Get the gear and I'll do it for you.
Yeah. So if we skip back to cricket then, after our deserved business plug, one question for me, because I always like to talk about the Hampson Cup final, believe it or not. Like,
really?
Where does this rank on your... There, I've touched it, yeah. How does this rank... Because there's obviously the three of us have played together a lot over the last 12 months. Like, how does that rank in your achievements as a cricketer?
It ranks highly, very highly. It's up there. It's definitely up there. Top 5 moments. It was a special day against a good team on a pretty disruptive wicket early on with the new ball, and then it flattened out, which I kind of knew it would be, knowing from my previous experience from 2018. It was a bit damp, but it was a good day, and we did really well. We played well. Every player on that day could go home and say, do you know what, I contributed there and I've done really well. I mean, like Adi Tickle was really good that day. Don't get spoke about as much, but when the top 4 batters were down, yourself, Steel, was it Steel D as well?
Yeah.
All batted really well. Harry, all them runs contribute massively. If you, honestly, I've been in games here when I played games of cricket, and Carl will be upset because no one's chased that and it's gone for 4. Honestly, little moments like that when your games of cricket at the back end, and all them little moments where AD was batting well, yourself, everyone just contributed to that team. And I remember coming off and we scored that, and I turned, they'd won the toss them at the beginning of the game. They were jumping up and down, and you could hear them in the other room next to us. And I said at half time, I said, hang on, be quiet. I said, can you hear that next door? You couldn't hear a whisper. No. Because I think the game was gone then, but you shouldn't look like that. I said that before, and then our bowlers went out and did a great job. And that day was a really, really good day. Really good day. It was outstanding.
We got at least 70 more runs than we should have done on that. Yeah. And to be honest, that wasn't down to bad bowling from their part, as Kersy said. It was everybody chipped in, even the middle order. Partnerships in the middle orders chipped in massively.
Sadako,
Toddy.
I forget Todd. Sorry, Todd. He batted really good that day.
I think he got 30 odd, didn't he? That one, Toddy, I think.
He got man of the match, didn't he?
Yeah.
Batted a treat, and he was injured again. But he batted a treat, did Todd. But like I said, everyone played well that day. But that really does rank up there, especially for the club. A second team, and I think we did really well after the first 6 games. I think if our first 6 games went a little bit better, maybe we could have pushed for a title win as well. But
that's the second team's problem. We always start stupidly slowly. We very rarely win more than one of our first 6 or 7 games, and then after that we'll probably go unbeaten till the end of the season.
I think the frustrating thing, we threw a few away. I don't even think like you started so slow that you were just getting beat. For some reason, we were just in winning positions and didn't get over the line.
We lost games we should have won last season. Normally we would win.
Yeah.
That comes back to that grounding that I had.
Little details,
just walking in. You're not taking things like, say, you can lose 20 runs, 30 runs by not doing something like that, just standing on your heels. Just little fine margins in games.
Now, for those who didn't see the Hampson Cup one, please go and watch it. We gave Carl a lot of credit for one of the wickets, but you were in on that too. So when their big batsman was trying to muller it over the offside, and it was the longest boundary, and it was wet, and he couldn't get it to the boundary, you can see by the smile that Kersy was in his ear, and then you had Carl on the boundary shouting, I'll paraphrase it, you need to hit it harder, you, and all of that. And then the 2 years were on him, and then the first time it got into his head, and he tried to play a defensive shot, he edged it through to Big Pete.
Do you know what did my head in about that game? Just to go off the sidetrack a little bit, was Dave Richards saying we weren't vocal enough. I said, you're joking, aren't you? I said, every single one I sledged on that pitch. Every single player. And I only say that because when we play Bedford Park, they are an emotional team, and you can
good set of lads.
Brilliant set of lads, but you can get into their heads a little bit. You can't get into Sideshow Bob's head. He's a good little batter, actually.
Yes.
He's not bothered about that, but you can talk to all of them. And you know that you've made an impact on him, because he just goes straight through them.
Yeah.
Especially when I said to Mill, just put them either side of the score, the sight screen like you did before. You'll get this lad out, and he did it. He smashed it. He went straight to him.
Yeah.
Adi Tickle's bad in that game for sledging as well.
Oh, the Adi Tickle is underrated when it comes to sledging and being a hothead. Let's be honest
Brilliant
about that.
Lady.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And he wasn't underrated in that Birkenhead game last season, or the season before last.
Oh, no.
I thought he was going to skewer someone.
Oh, yes. I think we need to get an AD Tickle special at some point. Come on, AD. Jeez.
Like Stewie or Family Guy. Well, they say mate anyway.
I think Kersy, like, my memory of you on that day is when Pete took that stumping, and I just appealed, and it's funny because I watched the video, but I actually can't remember much of that day because my memory is still quite hazy from the painkillers I was on. I think the overriding memory I have is breaking down in tears, and you were there saying, you know, like, well done, enjoy the moment, you deserve it, well done. And I'll never forget that. That's the sign of you as a team, and that's how I will always remember you. You know, you're a gobby-mank prick sometimes, but you know you've got a heart of gold. And I remember another time, I'm sure you remember this because I texted you about it. I lost my dad's ring when we was putting the nets away, and like that ring belongs to my dad, and it's a very precious item to me, and I couldn't find it. Now, as it turns out, I'd put it in my pocket and it had got tucked inside the pocket. So
jeez,
I'm hyperventilating because I'm so relieved. I've got Big Dave going, "Oh, you soft bastard." I've got Merle going, "For fuck's sake, Dan." And then you are escorting me off saying, "You're all right, calm down." That's a good mark of you as a person. That
there's nothing worse than feeling like you're alone, though, is there?
No.
And cricket is a lonely sport. I mean, I remember in that final, just to allude on that, I put my arm around you. I went over to Sadhu as well. He was bowling all over the shop, and I said to him, I always say this to people because I don't know. I remember someone saying it once. I said, "What would you rather be? Would you rather be sat there going, I could have done this, I could have done that, or would you rather just be out there playing?" Now that's different when you're in a high pressure moment, but you know, just putting your arm around someone, having a little word with him, just can help. And I think he took 3 or 4 wickets that day.
He did,
yeah.
You took a wicket that day. Yeah. Took a catch and looked like Peter Schmeichel.
Yeah.
Made it look like frigging Peter Schmeichel. And you took one, didn't you?
Straight down.
Played really well, and you was emotional at the end. And you know, some people deal with things differently. It's just nice to have someone there, just to like, you know, nothing worse than being alone, is there?
Very true.
And that's what this club's about, I think. Anyway.
Massively.
And I think that's a good kind of way to start heading towards home now. So obviously this is your 3rd run around. What does Earlstown Cricket Club mean to you? What is that kind of importance in your life? And
I mean, it's very high up on the importance of my life. I mean, I grew up around playing cricket here. I've had 3 stints here. Kind of represents me a little bit, Earlstown. I like to think, you know. I know we keep talking about, oh, you like to sledge and your exuberance and that, but the club has a passion like me, like that. But it also has a softer side. I mean, they talk a lot about mental health. I know we only alluded a little bit that people go on differently in the, you know, behind closed doors than everybody else. Maybe some won't talk about, but I always hear the same thing from this club is we're always here for you. Yeah. So it's got heart as well, and they all like winning. I like winning. They don't like losing.
The club's always seen as, and this is for me, who's only been 2 years, from the outside, as people don't seem to like, and you've said this, a lot of places, a lot of other teams don't seem to like Earlstown for whatever reason, but once you're in there, they look after their own massively. They always do. And this has come from this will be my 3rd season, but I learned that pretty early on, and you know, playing against Earlstown, it was always, no, you can't like them. They do this, to do that, and they've got this kind of attitude and that kind of attitude. But the attitude was a winning attitude, but it was also, I don't give a shit about anybody else. We're just going to look after our own, and that's what rubbed people up their own way. But realistically, that's the right way to be, and that's what it's proven to be.
I think Sir Alex Ferguson hit it well about Man United when they were in the heyday, which was a long time ago. So we're like an island and everyone else sharks around it. Not meaning that we need to be horrible and nasty to anyone, but I don't think we do that purposely. I think a game just leads that way, or certain situations lead that day. You've had a bit of tick for tack and it carries on to the next game in the right way, sometimes not. But, you know, we are an island and we do, well, from what I've seen. And what I like to do is make sure that, you know, everyone's looked after and we're all like, we are a team. Otherwise you don't win games, do you?
No.
That makes you the governor of said island. Has the same nickname as Paul Ince. That can't be a good thing. So for 2026, Kers, obviously, you know, we're marching towards the new season. Nets has already started. What are you kind of looking to do in the next kind of like 6 to 8 months? Obviously, you don't want to put pressure on yourself to say score X runs, take X wickets, play an X team. What are you looking for from your cricket for this season upcoming?
I want to try and break into the first team. I want to give it a shot now. If I'm not quite there, or someone goes, you've had 6 games, or we don't think you're good enough yet to make it in that first team, then so be it. But what I want to do is whichever team I get into, we want to make sure I contribute. with regards to the batting, I want to probably better my average from last year, or at least replicate. Be a bit more consistent, maybe push on a little bit more when I've got good starts as well. Bowl a bit better if I get the opportunity. I don't know. I always have just little things, nothing serious. I mean, every year I've always wanted to hit a century, and last season I just somehow did it. So that'll be on the cards again. Whether I do it or not, it's another story because it's not easy to do.
No, it's not.
But yeah, just like consolidate and maybe improve a little bit on different areas where I want to be.
You've said that you've got an answer to this, so I'm going to hold you to it. If you could play a game of cricket with someone alive or dead, professional or amateur, who would it be?
We have two.
By all means.
Dave Mellin and Steve Waugh. Because Steve Waugh is an unbelievable captain, an unbelievable player, and I just think probably Michael Vaughan as well. But Dave Mellin, just to hear him tell me off one more time for doing something, or a good sound bit of advice, because he's Mr. Hillstown. Some people, he's a bit like my mate Dave, wasn't he? People, some liked him, some didn't, and a bit like myself. But he was always Hillstown through and through.
Always.
Yeah.
He had praise when he felt like we needed praise. He had a bollocking when he felt like we needed a bollocking, and it was Mr. Consistent with whatever he wanted. He's sorely missed, and hopefully he's looking down and he's proud of where we're at this stage, and he knows that we miss him.
And with this scoring table outside,
table and chairs, he's still a massive part. Like you say, somebody I miss. Wish he'd have seen. He would have loved the second team cup win, wouldn't he?
No, he'd been all over that one.
He'd have had his packed lunch and his picnic things and his chairs there and his banner out. Yeah, he would have loved it, and I know he loved the cup final. Obviously, we thankfully got to win one with him, with us. But yeah, that's a great shout, that Kers, to be fair.
I'll leave you on a funny story with Dave, who I didn't know very well. I only knew him for the one season he was alive while I was here. I played a game at Cheshire Line seconds, and the week before I made my debut and I'd scored a battling 23 off 2,000 balls or however much it was. And Big Dave put me at 3, and I would love a crack at opening one time. Obviously, it's when you've got 40 overs, you've not maybe got room to accommodate someone of my scoring rate. And the Cheshire Lions team were really good, and they had it on the length, and I just could not pick it. I was struggling. I was all over the place. And they eventually got me out. So I was there for about half an hour. They eventually got me out for 1, I think, and I'm walking off. And I've got this Sports Direct 25 quid bat, and I said to Dave, who was scoring for us, I said, I think it's time for me to get a new bat. I'm not enjoying using this one. And he said, don't bother getting a new bat. Just learn how to use that one.
Brilliant. Timing, brilliant.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Kerslake, and remember you can follow Kersy's business on Facebook if you want any plumbing or heating needs. And that's been this episode of Silly Point. Thank you for your time, gentlemen.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.